Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Tuesday, December the 11th, and this is the market overview, looking at the Dow SPX Fixed 10A UUP FXE GLD SLV and all the rest. So, getting closer now to the end of the regular nightly videos, but a few more days to go. So, away we go. And tonight with the Dow, today was a pretty solid day overall. It did give back a little bit by the end of the day, but by and large, no fear whatsoever on the fiscal cliff, which is both surprising and surprising. Tomorrow is the Fed meeting results, and we'll see if they roll over Operation Twist into QE4, which everyone is expecting them to do. So, has that been priced in? Well, let's take a look and see. Alright, so here we are with the Dow. Looks very nice at its height. It was, approaching the upper trend line of the descending channel, which is pretty darn amazing. It's done it all in one straight shot, which is also pretty crazy. Beyond that, we do have a nice blip in the heat map. Pretty nice. We still have most things hanging out high, but look at that. We have the turn of the fast stochastic, we have the slow stochastic leveling out, we have the RSI turning, and that's it. So we have a couple of little signs, and pretty darn amazing run. So, is it over? Well, it depends on how the news is taken tomorrow, but let's see how high everything really is. Okay. So now we can see that we do have a pretty good condition in many respects. The MACD histogram hasn't been this high since June, almost half a year away. We do have more room to move on the 14-day RSI moving average. So can we discount more to the upside? No, we cannot. But yeah, we have a few signals. So needs more development, but that is what it is. 60-minute time frame, since we like to look at it. We can see the approach to the upper descending channel line and backed away from it right before kissing it. We can see that we do have really good alignment on all the secondaries in the 60-minute time frame to say that, yeah, there should be some pressure to the downside, and we certainly have negative divergence. So we'll be looking to see how that plays out. But boy, that would be one serious decline, taking us way back to 12,750. Do I see a 500-point drop at this point? Not without fiscal cliff worries. You get those, and yeah, it'll do it in a hot minute. But at the moment, it's just way too early. Way too early. Moving on to SPX. And like we said last night, SPX is lagging. But yeah, it had a good showing today, sure. 9 points to the upside. Everything's still moving up, and we have the MACD histogram going up. We don't have the stochastics pointing up, so actually SPX definitely looks better than the Dow. Absolutely. No question. And it has way more room to the upper trend line. So, yep, SPX way better than the Dow. Absolutely. Going on to the VIX. Alright, so this one, it really tried at least for a little while today, but ultimately completely failed. What else do we have to look at here? Looking more and more likely like going back to the previous floor. But we do have a nice blip today and the heat map getting darker. But everything, just like last night, is still pointing down. Still pointing down. There's no change, and there's still room to move to the downside on the daily. There's no real good pattern here until it reaches support. So Is there anything good here? Nope, there's not. So the bulls do have that in their favor. And TNA, small caps, very nice. We talked about last night these, going sideways. We're waiting for a breakout. It either go to the upper side or it would retest the top channel going down, and it broke out today. How about that? Getting all the way up to the upper Bollinger Band, closing right at it, and even doing a little bit of gap fill way back here. Be really curious if this fills all the way, which, why not? And it coincides with the major price consensus level from the month of November. What it will do at that point, it is a big spinning top. We do have a nice blip on the heat map, but we do have everything ticking up. This looks, it does look good in the daily. New recent high, bullish. Is there anything else we can see here? I don't think so. So I'd like to see that gap fill and then see what it wants to do. But yeah, very, very nice daily chart. People are definitely front-running the Fed tomorrow, so they better not disappoint. UUP. Ooh, look at that. It gapped right through the support level. Didn't even bother fighting it. Tried to get back up, fell back down, blip in the heat map. Everything for the most part is pointing down with the exception of the slow stochastic, but daily chart wise, yep, it looks poor. Absolutely looks poor. And we do have gaps to fill to the bottom. So, yep, looks poor. Total 180. Lost that support, very important. What can you say? That is what it is. Looks poor. GLD. I don't remember if I covered this last night or not. I'll just say that I didn't. So we had the uptick. The uptick was resolved yesterday. Today going back down, ending with a very, 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 very small hammer. Not at the top or the bottom of a range. Downtick on the 14-day RSI moving average, not a good sign. Losing most of its bottoming area in the heat map, still a little bit, and everything just taking its sweet time in the middle. Some going up, some staying negative. This doesn't really say much of anything. Not much of anything. And SLV, more of the same. Gap down today, it is a hammer, it's not at the top or the bottom of the range, and the secondaries are actually a little more negative than positive. Down on the CCI, and still up on the stochastic, sideways on the 14-day RSI moving average, very important, but down on the RSI, down on the histogram, down on the MACD. This one is very mixed. Doesn't really tell us much of anything, but it is inside of the long-term moving average bar, so at least that should continue to aid it so long as it continues to exist. So give it the benefit of the doubt, but overall not looking that healthy. Yeah, since I'm at it, why not SPY? And you'll notice that this one is different. I mean, you do have everything going up. You do have the blip in the heat map, but it is an inverse hammer at the top of a possible range, and it is it went to kiss the major price consensus level from November, and that's where it backed away from. So why would we want to look at this? Well, for volume, just to take a peek and see what we can see. And what do we have? We have one red, 1, 2, 3, 4 greens. And are we in danger of going red on any of these? No, we're not. We're actually in danger of going green on the 5th. So this is very encouraging volume activity. And so the bears should definitely stay out of the way. Yep, stay out of the way. Maybe tomorrow will be a huge reversal, but for the moment, not something to mess with. And going on to ComQ, the NASDAQ. Very nice day. New recent high. Conquered the lower ascending trend line and pierced the upper ascending trend line. Both positive things. What else is there to say? Small blip in the heat map. Everything is moving up. The daily does not look bad for the NASDAQ. Not bad at all. Lots of optimism. Lots of optimism. And going on to Apple. Even Apple had a positive day. How about that? Seems to be in short supply with the beating that it's had lately. But that is a truly positive day. And look at that. We got an uptick today. The uptick takes us all the way up here to about 557, 558, roundabout. And for the most part, everything is ticking up with the exception of the regular MACD. But daily chart, yeah, this looks ready for a move up. Very nice. And ascending lows, very nice. Hopefully that won't change after we get a uptick target hit, assuming that it hits. But yeah, this looks encouraging. And JP Morgan, the most important bank. Look at that. Inverse hammer going right to the previous high. Exactly. Definite topping area. Very high on the RSI, the stochastics, the CCI, which is actually in decline slightly. We do have the 14-day RSI moving average still in ascent, and the MACD histogram and the MACD. But yeah, could we see a secondary reset here really soon? Absolutely we could. So very interesting. Tomorrow is so darn important. And XLF, the financials as a whole. A little doji star right at the top. Not getting to the previous high, unlike JP Morgan, and not as deep a topping area in the heat map, but everything else pretty darn high, CCI, stochastics, and RSI wise. Could we have a secondary reset here? Yes. Does it look as important as on JP Morgan? No. So I would be just waiting and watching on that. And USO to finish off the evening. Very weak. Yeah, it's green. Yeah, it's a hammer. Yeah, it's at the bottom of a possible range. We do have the stochastics low. We have the RSI bouncing. We have the CCI barely ticking up, with the 14-day RSI moving average getting a tick up after going sideways. But the MACD histogram and the MACD both negative. If it's going to get caught, it's going to get caught here or really close to it. So this I actually would think is a little more positive than negative, and it just needs an uptick, get a little momentum, and then it can re-challenge the long-term moving average bar once again. So really, maybe this is skewed by all of the run up into the FOMC tomorrow, but they certainly have painted the charts to look not terrible going into it for the most part. And there it is. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.